What's up, YouTube? How you guys doing? As you can see, it's an awesome day. It's actually warm out, 40 degrees today. We got some stiff falling out of the sky. Nice light sprinkle this morning. Today I'd like to talk about suspension. Mainly, I mean, every bike has it nowadays, so, and maybe it's just one of those overlooked things that a lot of people just turn a couple of the dials, adjust a knob or two, and they're like, oh yeah, it's better. But is it? Is there a correct way to set it up for what we're doing with it out here on the streets? Or maybe you're one of those guys that goes to the track. In that case, you probably already know where I'm going with this, and are going to be leaving very soon. So, onwards. Suspension. One of the first things that gets overlooked is your suspension sag. And that, in layman terms, is basically when you're sitting on your bike, how far down it sits into the suspension from being all the way topped out. My bike, when I bought it, I mean, this is something that honestly should be done at the dealership when you buy the bike. You get on the damn thing and they should, you know, the sales guy and maybe a mechanic or somebody that knows what they're doing, goes and has you sit on the bike and adjust the suspension to your weight and how you're going to sit on this bike. They don't do that anymore. At least out of all my friends and my personal experience, it's never happened. I did come across one guy who told me that they did it for him, but other than that, it's a no-no. It says in the owner's manual if you need your suspension preload set for the rear to see your authorized dealer. Yeah, right. I don't like other people tooling around my bike. You know, especially if I have to pay them to do it. You know, I know how to do a lot of things myself, and, you know, hopefully you do too. Anyway, sag. There's a lot of different people out there that say what is and what isn't, you know, a good number. From what I see and have come across, about 30 to 35 for the street is what I found on one suspension tuner's website. And this isn't some fly-by-night guy. I mean, he has his own he has his own motorcycle training facility and everything. So I mean, it's pretty well accredited place. Another guy says, and he talks a lot about doing it in metric, but he put the measurements up in inches, which he said 1.5 inches to about 2 inches of sag is what you want from fully topped out. That I think is about 38 millimeters to, what is it, half inch is about, what, 10 millimeters? No, 13 millimeters, about half inch. So 38 to 45-ish on the street. And, you know, don't take that as this is exactly what it is. It's a guide. You know, overall, it's you know, about how the bike feels to you. You're the one riding it, not me, not them. Your riding style is different than mine. Way more or less than I do. you know, roads, terrain, you know, what you're going to go around, how you're going to go around it. The way you attack a corner is going to be way different. So how you set your suspension up will depend on that. So sag we've covered. This is going to be just light stuff. You know, I'm not going to go in depth on, you know, how to or anything. That video is in progress. We're working on that right now, how we're going to bring that out to you guys. But front and rear sag are about the, you know, 1.5 to 2 inches by the one guy, and about 30 to 35 millimeters from the other guy. So you take it either way you want. I have mine set up, you know, if you want to know my numbers, I got mine set at 32 and 32, you know, front and rear. When I got the bike, it was at like 45 in the rear and 43 in the front, I believe. So it's still a little high. I'm gonna tighten it up a bit. After you get sag dialed in, that's where you start getting into your hydraulic stuff. You know, your dampening and the hydraulics, or dampen. Anyway, compression and rebound. Rebound is after your tire hits a bump, how it's going to travel back out towards the road surface. If you have too much rebound, it's going to be extremely slow. If you don't have enough rebound, it's going to be way too fast and basically slap the tire against the road surface and maybe even bounce a time or two more. So you need to have that dialed in. And that again is going to be a preference thing on how you want it. I messed around with mine just to see, you know, what it's really like. Is it, you know, I turned it all the way hard and pushed down on the bike, and yeah, it is slow. But there again, I turned it the other way, completely opened that thing up, and yeah, it bounced like 3-4 times. You know, also compression's gonna play a little bit of effect into that as it, you know, goes into its compression stroke. You know, but as far as rebound's concerned, you know, it's not, you just get a look at it. I mean, you can get it close, close by the average guy's standards. Also, what's going to affect the rebound and compression, you know, is it's a hydraulic. Hydraulics are affected by temperature. You know, so right now it's 40 degrees outside. My forks are probably ice cold. So that oil in them are thick. So the way that my bike does its rebound and compression in the morning may be extremely different than the way it does it on the way home when it's 70 degrees and sunny. You know, and also may even be different than when I'm ripping through the canyons and working the suspension and get that oil good and hot. So, you know, it's something that we're going to be playing with this summer. A couple of guys, you know, see how it works. Onward to compression. And what I'm saying, you know, back it up a little bit here. Rebound, front and back, you know, there's an adjustment on the shock and the forks for that. And, you know, I personally wish I'd put rebound on or just REB instead of tension. You know, but that's what the owner's manual's for. Just take a look in the owner's manual, and it points right there and says turn it this way to make it tighter, turn it that way to make it looser. This is what your standard setting should be. Go from there. So onward to compression. Compression is when you initially hit the bump, your front end, you know, as the forks travel, you know, down into that, or, you know, the downward travel of your forks towards your wheel, for layman's terms, if you don't understand how that works. too much. You know, I cranked it all the way up, and yeah, it's stiff. It's gonna make the bike ride stiff. You know, the oil is just being restricted, not being allowed to travel through the valving inside the forks and inside the shock if you have your compression setting on the shock also. And it works the same as front and rear. You know, and I may be wrong, you know, and that's what the comment section and the thumbs up and down button is for. If you don't like it, you know, feel free to write down there in the comments and say, hey, you know, this is really how it works, and you know, share with everybody else your thoughts. But yeah, on your compression, you know, and it's affected also by temperature. Your oil being thicker, your compression's going to be, it's going to feel tighter, and then as it warms up, it's going to loosen up a little bit. But that's about it, you know. And I do understand, yeah, there's other, you know, high-end aftermarkets. Some of the bikes come with, you know, like a high-speed, low-speed settings. I don't have any of the high-speed stuff. From what I understand, just set it to what the factory has for high speed and leave it there. And I heard that from two separate suspension tuning places. And you know, we'll just touch on it real lightly. From what I understand on a high speed is like a real hard bump, and not that it's like a long or anything like that, but just something real sharp and fast, so that way you basically move your suspension in an extreme rate or fast, and that's what the high speed is designed to deal with. Your low speed is for, like, you know, road surfaces and, you know, stuff like that. So your choice on how you want to take that. If somebody that, you know, has 40 years of suspension tuning experience says leave it alone, it doesn't need to be messed with from the factory, you know, I'm gonna take their advice. They know more about it than I do, you know, plus they get paid to do that stuff. I'm just doing this as a hobby. But that's it. That's all I got for you this morning. It's kind of short, or maybe long in YouTube's world. But hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found the information useful. If you have any questions or anything, you know, go ahead and post in the comments or send me a message. I could look into it and, you know, do a little more digging around. And I am working on a how-to video on how to set up the suspension, at least on my bike, you know, and we could talk a friend into letting me use one of their bikes. You know, so we can do a how-to video on theirs for you guys that have bikes like theirs. I mean, I can't do all of them, but, you know, at least for mine, you know, there's guys out there that, you know, just want to know exactly, you know, and all, you know, it's no secret. All, you know, weights, everything, I'll show you, everything like that, see how we can put it all together in a video. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Hopefully it's sunny where you're at. I know you can see our awesome weather here today. And, if you liked what you seen today, hit that like button, share it, comment, subscribe. Don't let people running red lights get in your way, like that douchebag. And have a great day.